You're following up on a CBS News Colorado community investigation we first told you about last summer. It involves practices at a mobile home park in Arapahoe County some advocates claim are exploiting families who live there. We're talking about the Fox Ridge Farm Mobile Home Park on Colfax. That's just east of the E470 and I-70 interchange. Your investigator, Katie Weiss, is also your reporter in Arapahoe County. She shows us while the path to positive change has improved, reaching potential justice can still take a long time.
3 bricks in the water so the cars don't get stuck in there.
I first came here to Fox Ridge Farm last summer and heard a host of complaints from residents. After our reporting, Colorado's Mobile Home Oversight Program began investigating those concerns and earlier this year issued several violations against the owner of the park, a company called Essentia.
It really is very difficult.
But a year later, residents like Ana Baez tell me little has changed.
Even though we're living in a mobile home park, we deserve to live with dignity.
Most residents in parks like Fox Ridge Farm own their mobile home, but lease the land it sits on. While maintenance and park upkeep has improved since last year, Baez says the real problems remain. Parking policies, she claims, are aggressive and discriminate against the park's lower-income families. Policies that eliminated free street parking, charged monthly fees for extra parking spaces, and additional fees for visitor parking.
We as Latinos are used to having family reunions, but this past year, I couldn't have the reunion with my children that we have every year because there was no parking for them to come and see us.
Documents we obtained allege the state determined Essentia violated Colorado laws by implementing those parking policies and required Essentia to reinstate free parking on at least one side of the street. It was very stressful. Yolanda Cosillo enjoyed living at the park for 11 years with her husband and 3 children, who are now young adults.
My children work. My youngest son goes to school, and we also work, and it was very, very necessary to have the 5 cars.
She says the parking issues forced them to move in May.
We went to the office to ask for an extra permit, and they told us that there weren't any left, but that they would put us on a wait list for one. We spent months on hold, and they never resolved anything for us.
The state's Mobile Home Oversight Program is a newer office created in 2019 to institute better accountability and enforcement and protect people like Cosillo and Baez.
There's hope, but like a very hesitant pause from people.
Advocates like Quasi Dennis with 9 to 5 Colorado say the state's program design is working in this case, and residents are seeing action faster than they would have before, when their only recourse was filing a lawsuit.
It hasn't been swift justice by any means, but we do still expect to have these rules upheld for the benefit of residents.
Because Essentia has appealed the state's violation decisions, the matter will still have to go to court.
We're waiting for the owners of the park to realize that they're introducing unfair rules. When someone buys a house here, it's very difficult to move it, so we have to fight for our rights.
Essentia's president tells us in a written statement that they've remedied 4 of the 6 violations that the state has issued here at this mobile home park, including eliminating fees for guest parking. And as for the concerns about no free on-street parking and charging fees for overflow parking lots, Essentia's president says, quote, "We view these demands are an unconstitutional abuse of the state's power and, more importantly, are not in the best interest of the community as it relates to safety, trash service, emergency access, snow plowing, street maintenance, and general curb appeal." Essentia also says that the no free street parking here at the park has been a rule here for decades. It just wasn't enforced until last year. Essentia's appeal of these violations is set to go before an administrative law judge next week. We'll, of course, be sure to let you know what happens. Reporting in Arapahoe County, I'm Katie Weiss, covering Colorado First.